Hey, what's up to everybody out there? Welcome to another edition of the Roundtable Talk. I am your host, C Money, and this episode we're doing hotspots in South Florida, and today we are at East Greynolds Park in North Miami. And if you remember, a while back I did an episode in Greynolds Park, which is to the west of us in North Miami off of West Dixie Highway, or to some people Dixie Highway. And they have actually three different parks, because one of the parks, the park that I visited, sits off of Dixie Highway, and they have two entrances. They have one entrance off of Dixie Highway, and then they have another entrance off of Miami Gardens Drive and Northeast 22nd Avenue. And then there's another park which is across the street from the Greynolds Park on Miami Gardens and 22nd Ave. So, and this is East Greynolds. Now, I've been meaning to do an episode in this park, but never got around to doing it. Now, we're walking through the entrance of the park. Now, this park sits off of Biscayne Boulevard between Northeast 163rd Street and Northeast 172nd Street. So if you're driving down or passing through on Biscayne, you will have to take a hard look, because the sign, as you saw in the beginning, is there, but it's like you're surrounded by a lot of trees and nature life, so it's kind of hard for you to actually figure out where is this at. And it sits on the east side of Biscayne. I guess that's why they call it East Greynolds Park, because of the fact that it is on the east side and the regular Greynolds Park is on the west side. Now, I don't know why, and as you saw in the video, there's a dog park with I guess you can call it, they got a picnic area at the dog park area. I guess this is one of the exclusive dog parks. As you saw earlier as we walked up, they had the sign, so I'm guessing this is one of the exclusive areas. Now, this park to me it looks decent, it looks okay. It's not as big as Greynolds, because remember, Greynolds Park, the original Greynolds Park, they have a golf course, a playground, which I'm quite sure this has a playground. As we further do walking, there's the restroom, and also they have a nature trail. And due to this, I'm guessing that's one of the trails right here. It looks like one of the trails, okay, but they have a bunch of amenities at Greynolds Park. Like, while you're playing golf, the kids could be playing golf, but I believe the playground is closed off, because the last time I did visit it, I think they was doing either renovations or something to the playground, so I think it's closed off. And then they're also doing renovations to one of the restroom areas that I frequently go to. Okay, yeah, that's I think it says Bark Park, but we'll probably go over there if we have time to go over there. This is, looks like a sewage pump area or something like that. Not a big park. Northeast, welcome to Northeast Regional Dog Park at East Greynolds. Okay, that's the Northeast Regional Dog Park. Oh, you can rent out kayaks here, apparently. So, to my understanding, there isn't a playground here. This is mainly a party pavilion, and this is a park that is close to the waterway where you can rent out kayaks. I'm not walking through the grass. I see all those snickerbirds, or whatever you want to call them, and it looks like they need to cut their grass. I guess they cut this grass, but they ain't cut this grass. And somebody's having a birthday party here. How nice. Happy birthday to whoever it is having a birthday. Oh no, they have this is, oh, I see why. I have here where No landings, pickup, drop-offs not permitted. No trespassing, do not enter. Greynolds Park Shoreline Enhancement Project. Metro Dade, Biscayne Bay. Enhancement. Metro Dade Department of Environmental Resources Management. Florida Department of Environmental Regulation. Metro Dade Park and Recreation Department. Williams Islands Associate Ltd. Keep our waterways tangle free. Recycle your fishing line responsibly. Conserve responsibly. Okay. Oh, I see why this is closed off, because it is damaged, and to avoid injuries and lawsuits, and this is damaged as well too. So basically you can't enter this way. No trespassing, rules and regulations enforced in accordance, but I'm quite sure there's people that have trespassed this way. Okay. So now we're gonna go around and we're gonna go to the park, the dog park. You can rent a kayak here. I guess this is the area where you go at with the kayaks. Let's see if we can go down this way. This is probably the area where you get on there with the kayaks. We're gonna protect the natural area. Okay, we're gonna go down here. I'm not gonna go far out because of course this is Biscayne Bay and the ocean. Here's a island that's close. You can, it probably is an island where you can probably get to, and normally like you'll see a bunch of boats out here and they'll probably be docked at the island, but that don't look like it's a very good island to go to. It don't look like something. I'm gonna see if I can go further out, but I'm not gonna go too far out because the water is, you can't see from here, so basically you can't see much. So we're gonna come back out this way, but I just want to give you an in-depth look of what the area looks like and anything. That's where you can rent the kayaks, and I'm guessing the people who are here are not here, and they're getting ready for a party right there, and I'm guessing, and stuff like that. So let's take another walk. I've been meaning to do this video ever since I did the last video at Greynolds Park, but the location of the park was kind of like off, but none of the locations seem to actually fit. If you remember a couple of days ago, about a week ago, when I did my traveling in hotspots, I did a trip to Georgia and I went to Wellston Park, and we also did a video at Wellston Trail. Wellston Trail does not exist or does not link up in Wellston Park. Wellston Trail connects to Fountain Park, which is another park, which is about a 5-minute drive, less than a 5-minute drive, and which is probably east or west, however you want to put it, of Wellston Park. So I'm like, they should have just put the Wellston Trail or near Wellston Park, you know, but apparently that's not the case. We're gonna do another walk through here. Apparently, if you're walking through this park, you're doing less than a 30-minute walk. You're doing less than a 30-minute walk. This park is not long, so you're doing less than a 30-minute walk. This is called a bark park. That's the restroom. We're probably going to take a look at the restroom, but I don't too much care to go inside of the restrooms and look at the, you know, like I did it at the Barnacle, but you know, I don't too much care to go inside the, you know, for several reasons. Number one, it might be somebody in the bathroom using the bathroom, and then number two, that's something like invasion of privacy. Bark Park. And I'm just gonna give you an look. Park opens sunrise to sunset. Parking lot hours 8 a.m. and 30 minutes before sunset. They have an area for small dogs, I see, and then they have another area for all dogs. And this is basically, and if you a teacher pet lover, do you love walks with your pets? Animal Service is a great place to volunteer. It's a place where you can learn about pet care, making new friends, and have tons of fun while making a positive impact on lives of animals. We welcome volunteers. Oh, okay. That's me. Okay. So now, this is East Greynolds Park. And I guess they needed to name this park because it is technically part of Greynolds Park. If you heard that sound earlier, I believe that has to be the Bright Line train passing through, because we are close and near the Bright Line area where the Bright Line train's at. And if you remember Greynolds Park, and if you've seen the episode, you'll probably know that Greynolds Park is technically feet away from the Bright Line. You can actually see the Bright Line train from the entrance of Greynolds Park. So, the regular Greynolds Park. Okay, we're gonna come over here. So, in the midst of it, this is East Greynolds Park. Now, the only reason why I wanted to do this park, because I wanted to do, number one, I wanted to do a continuation of Greynolds Park, because I did the main Greynolds Park. I never did the one that sits next to Greynolds Park, like the other one that I told you about, that sits off of Miami Gardens and 22nd and Northeast 22nd Avenue. And I also want to see what this park was about. This park, if you're coming here, there's only 3 things you're bound to do here. You want to kayak at this park, because there's another Bright Line train that might be the one going south, because the one going north had came already. There's 3 things you can do at this park. The main thing is you're going to take your dog to the dog park, where you're going to walk your dog and play with your dog in the dog park. That's the main reason why, because that's one of the main features here. Number 2, you're having a private event here at the pavilion, where you can have a event here. Now, to me, I can say right here, I wouldn't have a children's party here, because number 1, you don't have a playground here. So you will want to, and then you don't have a pool. Technically, if I have a party at a park for a kid, I would have it where they have a nice playground with a pool, you know, where the kids can go play in the pool, you know, all year round. And most of the Miami-Dade parks here doesn't have year-round pools. Most of their pools are only open during the summertime. So you have to know that, I wouldn't have a birthday party here. And it looks like they're having a kids party here. And I wouldn't have a party here because they don't have a playground, and this is near the water. And then number 3, if you want to go kayaking, because of course you can rental kayaks here from what it looks like. So, and I guess that little detachable trailer there is probably where the officers set up to rent kayaks, and it looks like they only have 4 of them. Let's go look in let's take a walk this way, and then we're gonna go to the bathroom. We're not gonna go in the women's bathroom. We're not gonna probably go inside of the men's bathroom. We're just gonna take an in-depth look of the bathroom area. Now, they do have a water fountain here, but I wouldn't trust the water fountain here, because that is a ground-built water fountain. And what I mean by ground-built water fountain, actually we're gonna go and take a view. These are the water fountains where the water is coming from the ground, and most of the time the water is not 100% good. I have been to parks, and I'm not trying to say names of the parks, or I probably don't remember the parks I've been to, where there's 3 reasons why you don't drink this water. One of the main reasons is the water is hot, and this one is not cold and it's not hot, but it's about room temperature. When you test it with your hands, it feels like room temperature, but as you drink it, it'll probably be hot. And I've been to parks where you test the water and it's hot. And then number 2, that's one of the reasons why it's not cool. Even though they say you're not supposed to drink cold water, you're supposed to drink room temperature water, but I've always been prone to drinking cold water. Number 2, the water may be contaminated. You remember, this is water coming from the ground up. Yes, they do have an irrigation system that cleans out the water, especially with the water that's coming from the ground up. But sometimes that water, especially when it's coming from out of the ground, it's not like how, when you go to most parks and they have like the water, built in next to the bathrooms and stuff like that, where it's a machine and it's cool and it keeps the water cool and stuff like that. I've only been to a few parks that's like that. And then, number 3, these waters are not the 100% best. Now this is the restroom. I'm not gonna go inside the restroom, but I'm just gonna give you. And then there's a baby changing station. There's 2 stalls. There's 1 stall there. And I don't know if there's lights in here. Apparently there's not any lights. So apparently when there's no lighting system. So okay. Okay. I didn't realize there was a step there. That was my fault. That was my fault. I just wanted to make sure there was nobody in the bathroom, and I didn't want to be recording nobody in the bathroom. So, okay, this is East Greynolds Park. This is a park. I would not recommend this park to nobody except for dog lovers. Oh, wow, there's a there's a hole right here. I don't know if you can see it. Let me zoom in. There's a hole right there, and that's right next to a bench. And if you're coming out here to barbecue, this might be some place if you just want to barbecue or have somewhere where you and your friends come and barbecue. If you got a pavilion is set, you can do it. But if you coming out here, you want to have a party or something with your kids, I wouldn't recommend Greynolds either, because Greynolds, they don't, like I said, there are 3 things I would want if I'm having a party for a kid at a park. I would want a park with a playground. I would want a park with a pool that's open. And I want a park that has a pavilion with grills and stuff like that. And I stepped in the hole. I ended up stepping in the hole. Oh my God. Y'all forgive me. See here, this picnic table here sits under a tree with no grill or nothing, and you have several picnic tables here that has no grills on it. So you will want to have a park that has picnic tables or a pavilion, and I know the pavilion probably has a grill, and if it don't have a grill, then that's another problem. But I would want a pavilion, and I want a park with a pavilion that has a grill on it. And even sometimes I may not use the park's grill, because sometimes those grills are not clean enough, because you have, the nastiness of the nature that goes on the grill. So I would suggest you bring your own grill. Number 2, I want a playground for kids to play at, And if they don't have a pool, if it's a park that's in your area and it's the convenience for you, then that's fine. I would say bring your own little big old pool and set up your big old pool out there to where, you have your own pool, or have a slip and slide out there, but that requires water, and most of the time the park is not going to allow you to use their water. So I recommend that you go to a park with a pool, and a pool that's open, because a lot of these parks, they have pools. Remember, if you remember when I went to Georgia, and it was a Friday afternoon, and I went to Fountain Park, and Fountain Park had a pool, but the pool was closed. And I'm like, and I know in Miami-Dade, most of their pools are only open during the summertime when the kids are out of school. But Broward County, their pools are open all the time, weather permitting. And, most of their parks in Broward have slides and stuff like that. And, of course, we'll be visiting some of the parks in Broward. We have visited some of the parks in Broward. We've been to Mills Pond. Mills Pond doesn't have a pool. We've been to Lakeside. They don't have a pool. And we've been to Stanley Goldman Park, and also the skating park that's over there, and stuff like that. We've been over there. So we've been to a lot of these locations. So I'm just giving you an in-depth, seeing of that. So now we're gonna go back and walk to the front of the park, because now that's the women's restroom right there. We're not gonna go in there, of course, trust me. I would never do that. No loitering in or around restrooms, dressing rooms, or bathhouses. Violation punishable by a maximum of 30 days in jail or a fine of $100. Because some of these places are called bathhouses. If you remember my video that I did a while back when we visited the historical Virginia Key Beach, they had what they call it the bathhouse. And the bathhouse is basically where they had the showers and stuff like that, where you can shower and stuff like that. Because remember, Virginia Key Beach was the only area where black folks can go, and it was the only park for black folks back then. and just go back in my hotspots in South Florida and history and see, well, you can actually look at it better in history of South Florida, you know, because that is part of history of South Florida, and it is part of hotspots in South Florida as well too. Okay, so now I know it was a trail that was somewhere here. I probably didn't pass the trail. And like I said, if you are here, this is basically a park for dogs. This is not one of those parks you bring your kids. This is not one of them parks. Hope there's another trail right there that leads to it, but I'm not walking these trails because these trails are man-made. There are some trails that are man-made, but they are man-made good trails, meaning that there are trails that was made by man, but you could tell people walk them on the regular. These trails are like man-made trails that people only walk every now and then. So if you go back in them trails, you'll probably find critters and creatures and stuff like that, to where, you know, you're gonna be like, I ain't walking back there. I think there's another trail there, and a lot of these trails probably got covered up with, you know, there's another trail right there. A lot of these trails probably got covered up with trees and stuff like that. And I see there's people that's coming in. Most of these people are probably here for the party that they're having. And of course, you know, some are probably coming because they come with their dogs and they're finna go play with their dogs. And speed limit is 15 miles per hour in this park. I mean, I'm sweating, and yes, because of the fact that we are in a park and I'm under trees, so I'm sweating my ass off. So okay, so we are now back on what we are called Biscayne Boulevard, and ironically they don't have a sidewalk. So if you do come and want to visit this park, this park is basically for vehicles. Like if you have a car or a vehicle, this will be what you bring. But technically you don't have a car, you know, hey, I don't know what to tell you, you know. But I just wanted to give you an in-depth of this park. I wanted to do this because I did the other Greynolds Park, and this is East Greynolds Park, which is Northeast Regional Dog Park. And I don't know why they call it the Northeast Regional Dog Park, but it is hot as hell. We are now here at Biscayne Boulevard, and I'm going to show you what I mean on how this in between. It's a bit of a walk, so if you doing some walking, let me go this way because I want to be out of the, I want to see if I can get out of the sun by recording this. Because down there, if you can look closely at the light, that's 163rd Street. But 171st Street is just right here. So you're in between 163rd and 172nd. If you look at the address, it'll say 167. So you're basically near the street of 167th Street. So this is Greynolds Park. Now if you come look out here in the midst of, I've seen a lot of things out here. There are, I see there right there, there's a satellite dish. I've seen a couple of, I see a hula hoop. I've seen a couple of ice coolers. I don't know what the hell that is. Those are jars with stuff in it. There's a couple of big old, there's a lot of stuff in here that I see. There's a cooler right there. There's a cooler over there. There's a lot of stuff that people left in there. I would imagine that there's homeless people that sleep over here because they, you know, this is a nice place for them to sleep. And then I see buckets out here and stuff and more jugs. So I'm getting the understanding there. I see little juice jugs out here. I don't know what these are out here for or what these people got these out here for, but this is interesting. All right, so we are now at the end of this episode. This is East Greynolds Park. If you want to know more about this park, visit Miami-Dade Parks and Recreations. Visit their website. You can also come and check out this park for yourself, but I advise you, if you don't have a dog or if you just want to come and just walk around for a second, that's fine. This is not an exercising park for me, and it's not a park I would go Google and Gaga over. So email me, roundtable00@yahoo.com. Don't forget to comment at the bottom of this page. Don't forget to check out our 3 channels, or our 3 areas: hotspots in South Florida and histories in South Florida, and our newest, traveling with the roundtable. And I want to say thank you for watching. Don't forget to click and subscribe to our channel. It is hot as heck out here, so I'm going to go and get some cool shade. I've drunk up half of my water. This is the Roundtable Talk. I am your host, Z-Money. As always, stay safe, stay blessed. In this case, stay hydrated. And I will see you in the next episode of the Roundtable. Take care, and I am out.